With each passing day, we are one day closer to the start of the NBA season so we can finally get back to Mavericks basketball. But over the summer, we saw the Dallas Mavericks make a bunch of improvements to this roster that a lot of fans are excited about. You got Klay Thompson and his ability to open up the offense. You got Najee Marshall with his defense as well as playmaking off the bench. You got Spencer Dinwiddie and his ability to be a third ball handler for the Dallas Mavericks. But one move that I think is a very underrated move that will pay dividends for this Dallas Mavericks team was the acquisition of Quentin Grimes. And in article that came out just a few days ago highlights this move as a bold move for the Dallas Mavericks, and we're going to take a look at that article in this video, as well as give my own opinions on the Quentin Grimes trade, whether or not that's going to help us or hurt us. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavericks Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, the last few videos that we dropped barely got over 100, hardly even 200 likes on a few of them. If you are enjoying all the content that we're doing this summer, all the content that we're bringing you on this channel, make sure you drop a like on this video, and I'd appreciate it greatly. Let's try to get to 300 likes. We haven't had 300 likes in a long time. But like I said in the intro, Quentin Grimes, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated moves of the offseason. It was also one of our first moves of the offseason. Moving away from Tim Hardaway Jr., his horrible contract, as well as just his horrible play in the second half of the season, was a priority. And as most Dallas Mavericks fans know, Tim Hardaway Jr., it's a lot of ups and downs. You have very high highs and very low lows, and that's just the truth of the matter when it comes to Tim Hardaway Jr. And there have been moments in the past where Tim Hardaway Jr. helped us win many games. He showed up big time in big moments, and for that, we do show appreciation. Thank you, Tim Hardaway Jr., for those moments. But what we saw last season after the trade deadline was just the decline of Tim Hardaway Jr. He went from the first half of the season, he was in the running for Sixth Man of the Year, looking amazing off the bench for us. And then there came the trade deadline where we did improve our roster. His role really didn't change that much. He was still coming off the bench, but his shot wasn't falling. He wasn't able to score. We all know that his defense isn't really that good to begin with, but even that took a hit. And slowly but surely, he started to just see his minutes just go lower and lower as he was phased to the end of the bench. And come the playoffs, we hardly saw Tim Hardaway Jr. And with the way that the Dallas Mavericks are constructed now, we are ready to go and win a chip right now. There is no room for dead weight. Either you're with us trying to help us win, or you gotta go. And we saw in the offseason, the first move that was made was to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. for Quentin Grimes, who again, I believe is one of the most underrated moves of the free agency. But an article that was posted just a few days ago says the Mavericks' bold decision to trade Hardaway Jr. for Grimes looks better by the day. So let's take a look at this article and see what they have to say. There were rumors that Quentin Grimes would be a part of the package that the Mavs would receive in return for Hardaway Jr., and the trade between the Pistons and Mavs was finally reported on June 28th. Dallas is the perfect spot for Quentin Grimes to improve. Dallas sent Hardaway Jr. and 3 second-round picks to the Pistons for Grimes, and the Mavs' decision to make this move is looking better by the day. This was a bold decision at the time due to his numbers being down with the Pistons, combined with the uncertainty of his knee injury, and he has squashed both of those doubts quickly. Grimes' knee is fully healed, and his performance in some runs this summer looks to be outstanding. So that right there, yes, that the Dallas Mavericks made a very smart, you can say it was a bold move if you want to look at Quentin Grimes' knee injury, which really wasn't that big of a deal. He did only play about 6 or 8 games with the Detroit Pistons after he was traded there from the New York Knicks. But Quentin Grimes is going to be huge for the Dallas Mavericks with his ability to shoot the ball, with his ability to bring the ball down. He does have a handle. We don't have to worry about PJ Washington or Derrick Jones Jr. bringing the ball down, causing turnovers. Quentin Grimes will be an essential part of this team. If we just take a look at his stats from last year, just to get a little peek at what we can expect from someone like Quentin Grimes. Last season, he averaged 7 points per game, 2 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.1 blocks, 0.7 steals, 0.5 turnovers, and 1.5 fouls per game, while only shooting 37% from the floor and 33% from 3. He shoots 35% on corner threes, 96% of his threes are assisted, and 73% of all of his shots are threes. And this was considered a down year for someone like Quentin Grimes, where even if this was a decent or even just an average year for Quentin Grimes, sure, come off the bench, you could put up a few points, at least you could shoot the ball. I'm not upset with that. But while he was in New York in his first 2 seasons, he was having a breakout year. His three-point shot improved. His playmaking and his ability to assist did improve. And, you know, he had that knee injury like it was reported. So obviously his numbers did kind of fluctuate. You also have to put into perspective that the New York Knicks, now the Villanova Knicks, were going through a lot of trades. They got a few players that really pushed Quentin Grimes out of his rotation, more towards the end of the bench. He was very upset with that role and wanted to go somewhere else. So obviously his numbers won't look the best. But getting someone like Tim Hardaway Jr. off the books, getting him off the roster for someone who can easily come off the bench and produce for us is essential. Is something that we will need come playoff time, come late in the season when players are fatigued and tired. Quentin Grimes, you can come off the bench. Maybe we put you in the starting lineup. Maybe we give you more minutes. He's a player that you can easily plug into almost any rotation, any lineup, with his ability to defend the perimeter, his ability to shoot the three ball, but also his ability to put the ball on the floor and attack the basket. Something that we really only have with someone like PJ Washington. Not many of our other players are able to get the ball off a pass, dribble the ball, and attack the basket. A lot of them want to either catch and shoot, maybe dribble and shoot, but with PJ Washington and now Quentin Grimes, and I'm pretty sure Najee Marshall as well, we now have 3 players who can attack the basket, put the ball on the floor, create their own shot, and that was something that we did lack from Tim Hardaway Jr. in the second half of last season. Again, I understand that Tim Hardaway Jr. was huge for us in moments before that, but everything did look to go downhill after the trade deadline. But just going back to the article, they do continue to say, his handle looks great, and his ability to score off the dribble must not be undermined. Grimes was hitting shots off the dribble with rhythm and confidence, and the Mavs' decision to trade for him, which seemed bold at the time, is looking like a steal. Dallas bought low, considering Grimes' struggles in Detroit, and his game looks like it's going to be a perfect fit for the Mavs. He can sink open threes, get to the rim, handle the ball, defend, and his improving ball handling could lead to another new wrinkle in his game. Earlier this summer, Grimes said he is focused on improving his playmaking, and although it wasn't shown in this clip, his handle and athleticism should lead to an improvement in this area. If Grimes can consistently blow by his defenders as he did in this clip, his assist numbers will skyrocket in Dallas, and I'll show the clip later in this video. But all those things are really good for a young budding player like Quentin Grimes, who could easily be one of our best players off the bench. Not saying he'll be better than Daniel Gafford or Najee Marshall, but I think that is in terms of being that spark plug. Someone like Josh Green, who really provided a lot of energy off the bench with his ability to just get rebounds with his placement, knowing where to be, those corner threes. That was huge for someone like Josh Green. The problem with Josh Green is that he would always get lost on a pick and roll trying to defend that. Every time he hit a screen, he was lost. But with someone like Quentin Grimes, you don't really have a lot of those problems. The ability to attack the basket, put the ball on the floor, play make, handle. It's something that we will need, as this team is a lot deeper than we've ever been. It's good to know that we have a player like Quentin Grimes, who's a little bit of a jack of all trades. Whatever you need from him that night, he can provide you that. Whether he needs to be more defensive, more passive, if you need him to shoot the ball, if you need him to attack, we need those options, especially late in the season, especially going to the playoffs, where we could go up against many teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Nuggets. There's a plethora of teams in the West that are going to look very good this upcoming season. And if we do have to see a team like the Boston Celtics, Quentin Grimes will be a player that could help us torch the other team's second unit. Now, if we don't see the Boston Celtics, I'm okay with that. But if we do see the Boston Celtics, who do seem to be the team to beat, Quentin Grimes will help us out tremendously. I think he's going to be just huge for the Dallas Mavericks as a whole. But the article does continue, saying both Derrick Lively II and Daniel Gafford are always ready to catch lobs, and help defenders are going to have to pick between cutting off Grimes' drive or staying home on Dallas's bigs. Either way, Grimes' game is going to evolve in Dallas. The shooters on the perimeter will also help his playmaking improve, and he's poised to be a big upgrade from what fans saw at the end of the season from Hardaway Jr. Hardaway Jr. gave his all in his 5.5 years in Dallas, and although his time with the Mavs didn't end how many people may have wanted, he still has plenty of iconic moments with the team. Grimes looks ready to hop right into whatever role Jason Kidd assigns him, and the possibility of him becoming an elite role player for the Mavs looks promising. And again, I'm not too sure if he's going to become a 6th Man of the Year candidate. If he does, I think that would be great for someone like Quentin Grimes, and it'd be great for a team like the Dallas Mavericks, that Nico Harrison was able to find talented players like a Quentin Grimes. But the truth of the matter is, we just need players who can do a little bit of everything very well, and that's someone like Quentin Grimes, who is still also improving. He's a young player who will take another step this year, I believe. But I also believe that in the first few games, first maybe 10, 15 games, it may be rough for some of these players as they are adjusting to our system. But once things start to become familiars, once these players get more games under their belt, they're going to look great. And I truly believe that Quentin Grimes is going to be phenomenal for us. Even though I do miss Josh Green, I think what we're going to get in Quentin Grimes may be better than what we saw in Josh Green. But don't take it from me. If you guys want to see how well that man Quentin Grimes has been hooping, let's check this out right here. It's just an open gym, just some runs, but the handles look very well. Able to attack the basket, it's nice. Even there, boom, pull up three, able to knock it down. Defender hand his face, step back, dribble, tween, dribble, drive. Driving into traffic with contact, able to finish. Now, again, it's an open gym. He's not up against the best defenders, and I get that. But it still looks good. The mechanics look good. The shot looks very nice. Doesn't look like we need to fix the shot at all. his ability to drive, the want to drive, his drive to drive to the basket is something that we will enjoy seeing. With instead of guys just sitting in the corner waiting to catch a pass from Luka or Kyrie to just shoot the ball, something that we've seen a lot in the past. It's good to know that we do have a little bit of versatility with our offense and players like a Quentin Grimes, even a Najee Marshall and a PJ Washington that, yes, they can shoot the three ball, or they can give you a pump fake and attack the basket, which also opens up our offense. And I've already spoken on Quentin Grimes' defense. I think he's a great wing defender from what I've seen, and I think that will improve with the Dallas Mavericks. But you guys let me know down in the comment section down below. Do you think that the Quentin Grimes trade is the most underrated move that we made? Because I do. But if not, you let me know what you think was the most underrated move of the offseason. I like to have a conversation. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway. The winner will be announced the first week of September. As well as we are doing an NBA Fantasy League. If you want to be part of the Fantasy League, all you have to do is become a member of the second tier or higher. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.